Alright, how about another video? This is Drawing in the Dark. I think this is like episode 4. My name is Levi Smith, and I'm gonna draw a thing. Let's see, let me get a drink of coffee. Let's see what I'm gonna draw. This time I do not have any guests. No friends here with me to be conversational with, but I think we'll manage. One of the things I guess it's easier for me to do and draw here, and a lot of these have been really kind of just random, unplanned. Sometimes, I'll start off with one of these scribble sketches, and then fairly quickly abandon it, start off another one. There's been a bit of that in the past couple of episodes. I think we're just going to kind of keep that up. If I don't like where this is going, I'll just ditch it out and start again. Well, let's see here. One of the things that I tend to do, especially in this sort of situation, where I don't have a specific direction. I mean, a lot of the art that I do, commission work, designs, tattoo designs, I kind of know what I need to draw before I sit down. And that definitely does make things a bit easier in some ways. A lot of the decisions are already kind of made then, and then all I have to do is just get to work, do the labor. But in a case like this, where I'm trying to pull an idea straight out of my head on the spot, it's definitely a little bit different. One of the things that one of the things that I do in this kind of situation, you've seen it before, is just kind of like mess around with some kind of doodle, and then kind of see who it seems like it ought to be, if there's any pre-existing character that it kind of sparks as far as the posture, the pose, the body type, stuff like that. I grew up wanting to make comic books, drew a lot of superheroes, drew, and then I got to this point where I still want to make comic books, but not necessarily superhero comics or Batman comics or Spider-Man comics. I wanted to do something else. And so I don't do a lot of this kind of like high musculature figure drawing as much anymore. But it is something that I definitely still enjoy. Keeps me, I guess it kind of keeps me on my toes. I definitely enjoy a lot of superhero artwork. And the artwork nowadays, I mean, just everything on YouTube and on Twitch and, and all these Facebook groups and stuff. And we've got all these, these young people that have so much access to so much information and instruction and examples. I'm definitely from a generation where that was a lot harder to get access to. That a lot of that was much in the way of just simple mystery, you just sat there wondering, and not even really understanding, So nowadays, it's definitely much different, as far as what, I don't even like this, as far as what's available, you know, and how quickly someone can really expand, you know. I mean, because a lot of the development just comes from practice, you know. I'm getting away from all this. Let me just do feeling that stuff. We'll do this guy. Now that burned up some time here. This guy is one of my characters, the Quantum Cricket. He is a strange little bug of a character. And we will have some fun with him here. You know, when I'm going like this, I'm really just letting it go. You know, this isn't any rendering stages. This isn't anything where stuff's going to be finished. I don't even know if I'm going to get to something that even ought to be finished. A lot of this kind of exploratory stuff. I mean, this is where a lot of the real creativity happens. To a certain extent, this is the funnest place to be, as far as producing this kind of work, you know, and even like comic books and stuff like that, you know, the ideation of it. A lot of the rest of it is just labor, you know, and that can be fun too. I mean, I'm definitely a person that's in love with the process. I think my favorite thing is definitely to be making art. What to do with it afterwards, you know, that's important, definitely. But for me, that's not the motivation. What I can do with it afterwards, what it can do for me afterwards, you know, honestly enough. I really just like to be kind of in it, making it. Even when it's all kind of rough and, you know, and you're struggling through different things, you know, even all these those other little sketches I did that I just dropped. You know, the odd thing is doing stuff like that, it doesn't fully engage me anymore, in the sense that something like this does, you know. Like, this right here, this is my guy. I know this guy. Every time I draw him, another instance, you know, I get to become more familiar with him, develop him further. I get to know him a little bit more. I get another chance to bring this guy out into the world, some of these other characters. And I enjoy that. I mean, there's some amazing artists out there drawing Spider-Man and the X-Men and Batman and Superman and stuff like that, but nobody's drawing this guy. Nobody but me. At least not right now. So here he is. He has 6 limbs. He has a bug. 4 arms. Just 2 legs. Definitely kind of a superhero-ish kind of costume and situation. The idea is that he is like a Buck Rogers type of space superhero-ish kind of character, but kind of like in a silly way, you know. Let's just drop some. I do have a spaceship I've been working out for this guy, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'm just gonna kind of like set this scene here, just play around. here. Looks like our lighting is going to come from that planet object. So I'll scratch out just a bit of lighting here, kind of give us some texture, a sense of place, throw in some more details. And again, obviously, you know, I am really just, you know, just in the thought processes, you know, just developing this even just as I go. You know, so I'm gonna play with things, because at this point, I mean, as you can see with those other sketches, they weren't really going anywhere, you know, and just some pose drawing. I mean, already there's a little bit of something to read in this piece, you know. We've got a bit of a background, we've got a bit of a scene, you know. This guy's in a place. He seems to be, I don't know, he's got these arms out. It's kind of hard to gauge. I mean, he's definitely excited. You know, maybe he's celebratory. Maybe he's just posing for a picture. But, we're going to work this out like this. I'm trying to get, especially at this point, you know, sometimes I tend to be shy with my heavy shading, with the heavy blacks and stuff, but this is really the time right here to get experimental, to get brave, to just mess around with stuff. I mean, the amount of time that I've already put into this piece, it's not really a big deal if it doesn't go anywhere, you know. This isn't one of those 4-hour sketches, or worked on it for 3 weeks before realizing that, you know, I can't do anything with it, you know. And that's important, you know, especially when you don't have really necessarily the time to burn. Yeah, so this is the Quantum Cricket. And I think I've been trying to come up with some kind of sense of continuity for this. I'm trying to make these little videos every day. One of the things, you know, I was doing a daily sketch back in a few years back, and I think maybe this sort of thing might be something that I can do that would be interesting on a regular basis. We'll see. Like I said, I want to try to create some continuity. I want to have stuff that I'm working through in a sense of familiarity, and not starting every single one of these in a random way, you know. Maybe this is the one that I will actually continue. This will be a starry background. All this will be blacked out. We'll have some nebula. Some outer space there. He's landed like on some kind of moon or something. Yeah. Let me increase this just to do this real quick. Yeah, this is my I'm working on Clip Studio Pro, obviously. I use a lot of the stock brushes, just with a little bit of fiddling. Like this is just a regular pencil. believe this is a regular mechanical pencil that I just modified a bit, messed around with a couple of the dials, got turn the stabilization down, mostly so that I can, that the pencil can keep up with me, especially in this phase. I use this for the sketching, and then after this, I will go to the standard G pen. I've got a couple of variations on that. I've played around with the stabilization and stuff, and not really getting into any brushes or anything, mostly just the stock. But it has definitely been nice to play with those a little bit and get them to a point where I feel comfortable and I can just kind of do what feels comfortable, So that's pretty much it right there. This is I'm trying to keep these to around like 15-20 minutes. This is the Quantum Cricket. He appears in my comic strip Sequential Disorder. You can find that on Instagram, as well as other places on the web and stuff. I am working up the YouTube channel. I think it's just Levi Smith Art. I don't have it, this little red box up here. I still have to fix it. But I'm doing a lot of things, balancing a lot of stuff. I'll get to it. But yeah, this is from a little bit of a distance view. It looks a little odd. Maybe that second set of arms should go up a little bit, not quite straight off the hips. But anyway, yeah, maybe I will take this on again, do a little bit more with it next time, maybe ink it up. But until then, thanks for checking things out. Thanks for following along, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.